Not, who cares?
See if you're. Oh, we got a thumbs up already.
Oh, somebody thumbs up it without freaking saying made a comment.
Oops. Come on now.
Come on.
There we go. Are we live? Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to see. I didn't get a notification yet.
Neither did I.
That doesn't mean we're not live. It just means I didn't get a notification yet.
Hey, we're live.
Hey, we're live. How about that?
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I should probably just double check the connection here. Oh, no, let's see. We've got to reset it.
Here we are. We're live.
Are we there?
Yeah, we're live.
You'll have to see.
All right, let's see. Thumbs up. Liked. There we go.
That doesn't mean we're not live.
Oh, crap. I forgot about that.
Come on now.
Turn that off. This is the most exciting intro to a live stream ever.
Yeah. How come it doesn't show on the...
We're live, though. I'll turn my YouTube back on if you want to see it.
Usually it'll pop up here and it'll show us streaming. Connecting to your stream software. We already did
Is Ecamm eating it on you?
I don't know. Oh, there we are. We're live.
Yeah, we're live.
UK music vloggers and stuff. How are you? And Nose 49.
Nose 49. That's an interesting name.
So we're definitely...
Nose 49.
There we go. Hey, how are you, everybody? We're doing an impromptu,
Hi, guys.
Usually what we call here our impromptu live streams with our good old friend Dave up from New York today. So whenever he comes up, we decide to jump on here for a little bit, talk to you guys, so you could talk to him.
Yeah.
Because you never get a chance to talk to him.
They never get to see me.
You're only talking to me.
They just get to see the name in the chat with the hammer,
Right.
with the wrench next to it, you know?
Right. So let us know if you could see us okay, if the audio is okay. And usually within a few minutes, it is a Saturday afternoon, but usually within a few minutes or 10 minutes or so,
Yeah.
we'll get some people here. Hey, Harley Bob,
Harley
how
Bob.
you doing?
Yeah, and don't forget, too, there's always that, minute delay from the time
Yes.
they hit the send button till the time we see it, which always screws you up when you try to do a live stream.
Yeah. So,
But, latency is latency, I guess.
so today in the studio, we did some cool things. We just got done filming 3 videos for some of the gear we talked about on the last live stream. One being the Zombie Rec.
The Zombie Rec
Pro Audio, the
Mammoth,
or the Manma as I call it, which is the low frequency enhancer,
the low end
unit.
shaper.
Low end shaper. That thing's really cool. We already got a thumbs down. Look at that. We're not even okay. So
who is our hater?
who we got?
What did we ever do to you?
Somebody is
What did we do to you?
somebody is just so incredibly jealous of what
My God,
of what we do here. They are, because every single stream we get one thumbs down.
And it's almost right away. It's like there's got to be a guy who sits there with YouTube on, and anytime somebody goes live, he gets a notification. Thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs up, because I have no life, I have no life, I have no life, I have no life, I have no life.
Isn't it
Good
amazing?
for you.
Isn't it amazing how
Good for you.
How people just, man, you just wonder, right? You just wonder about people. You got nothing else better to do.
Wait. Harley Bob is from Oneonta. Really?
Oh,
okay.
Cool. Upstate New York. Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
He's way upstate, though.
Way upstate?
I'm marginally upstate. He's way upstate, Kaiser's here. What's up, bud?
Hey, Kaiser, how you doing, man? Everything looks good. Everything looks good. That's awesome.
Oh, believe me, we do not look good. Okay, there's nothing you can do to make this look good.
So as we said, we did the zombie
Zombie Rec Mammoth,
Zombie Rec Mammoth,
low end shaper, which
really great unit.
I was really interested. Yeah, I was really interested to see what that thing was actually going to be after watching David Nazi's video. And after seeing what you online and stuff, it's like and it did not disappoint. No, it did not disappoint.
No, it's a wonderful piece of gear. Hey Tracy, how are you?
Hi Tracy.
It's a wonderful piece of gear. The only down, I guess, if you had to say if there's a downside to the gear, is just that it's
expensive.
Pricey. It's not cheap.
Yeah, I mean for what, like if you're gonna price it by the pound. It's gold, Yeah,
it's one of those units that is unlike just like a regular cool compressor, which we did a couple of those we'll talk about. Yeah. It's a very unique, focused in on shaping the low end. Yeah. That's all it does. It does it great.
Fantastic job.
But that's all it does. And it's $3,500. Yeah. So it's about the price of an API 5500 EQ.
Yeah, but the thing with the thing with that unit is one, neither one of us can think of a plugin that does the same thing.
No.
You know, I
No.
mean, like, I can't even, I mean, like, I was trying to think of it when we were working on Tomb, like, is there a plug-in chain you can put together that's gonna do what this thing does? And I really, like, you would have to have, like, a high-pass, low-pass filter. You'd have to have a Pultec. You'd have to have a multi-band compressor focused in on the low end. You'd have to have a saturator that lets you do low-end focus. You'd have to have an expander that does low-end focus.
Yep.
I mean, you'd have to do with that one space box. So you'd have to stack like 7 different plugins.
Well, that's funny because that's going to be one of the videos we're going to do probably in a few weeks.
Yeah.
We want to try to, can we? Because I'll tell you the one thing that we've talked about this before, where trying to get that real subsonic frequencies where everything, like the kick and the bass, is hitching the chest, but it's nice and tight and focused. It's not muddy.
And it doesn't muddy up.
It doesn't muddy anything up.
Yeah.
And I've tried putting different plugins together. I've tried subharmonic generators. Nothing seems to quite do it.
No.
And this thing does it. I don't know what the hell it's doing exactly. But anyway, that video will go live probably in about 2 weeks.
Oh, I hope
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Once I get through editing it. But that's a really cool piece. So if you're interested in a low-end machine, that could be a really cool low-end machine. Hey, Common Time Productions. Mary and Sam. Hey, Mary, how are you? And Sam, how are you?
Hey, guys.
I know they're my new friends from one of our studio marketing groups that I belong to. So welcome. Okay. Thank you for joining.
Cheers.
And they're my newfound friends, Mary and Sam.
Nice.
So yeah, that was one piece that we did. So you guys can Google Zombie Rec Audio, Pro Audio, and you'll see it. He also has a 500 series, a double wide of a saturation box that he wants to send for review. At the time when we were shipping the Mammoth, it was on back order, so he didn't have any in stock. So maybe we'll get one of those things soon.
I would love to see that. After now having seen the Mammoth unit, I would love to see what he would do with a saturator. Yeah, you know, because it's got to be amazing. You know,
it doesn't disappoint.
No,
it's built like it's really, at least the unit we have.
It felt good,
solid. It's
nice,
heavy.
solid unit.
It sounds great. It's pretty simple to use.
Yeah. Well, like I said, the downside is
it's a little pricey. And it's all digitally controlled with a plug-in. That makes it really nice too.
Yeah, which honestly
makes it nice.
That there is so much added value to that aspect of a hardware unit, like with the Wes Audios and now with this.
Yeah.
Some of the other units that you can do that with. There's so much added value to that.
Yeah, there is.
You can almost kind of forgive the extra price. Well, not the whole thing, but you can definitely see the premium attached to that particular aspect of it, you know.
Yeah, it's a great piece of gear. So stay tuned to that.
W5 family.
Hey, W5, what's going on? Sheriff wants to know, are we going to post the videos to Spotify for creators? You know, I don't know. I don't currently. I don't. I've heard.
Did they do that?
I think that might be something new, but I've never really looked into it. So,
interesting.
Maybe I'll look.
We'll think about it.
We'll think about it. I don't know. Maybe we'll think about it. The other video we did today was a really cool stereo, very mute compressor. By RSE Audio.
RSE, right?
Yeah, RSE Audio. You can check them out. Go to rseaudio.com.
Yep. This is a tube Verimute compressor, 2-channel.
2-channel Verimute, yep.
Was like a 3-space unit as opposed to the actual Fairchild 7, 5-space unit.
It's 3
smaller.
spaces.
Is
it 3 or 2?
I think it was 3.
No, it's 3. You're right.
Yeah, it's a small, compact Fairchild.
Yeah.
And
sounds great.
I was very impressed.
Really, very nice compressor.
It's a lot of fun to sit and tweak the knobs on. You know, like just to get the sounds out of it.
Yep.
It's and that's one of those. That was one of those units where, yes, it does the Fairchild thing really well. I would love to see that up against an actual Fairchild or a Fairchild recreation to see how close they really did get to it. But if you're looking for the Fairchild thing at a relatively decent price,
that's $2,400.
$2,400 is, and like I said, it's not a Fairchild emulation because it's only got 6 tubes in it.
Right, it doesn't have 18, 20.
It doesn't have 23 tubes in it.
Right.
You know, it's not a Fairchild, but it does a reasonable facsimile of what you're asking a Fairchild to do for you.
Yeah, because it's very mu, right? So it's got a couple unique features. It's got an adjustable attack and release time, which in a Fairchild you don't get.
Correct.
You get the time constant, but that's all predetermined in that step setting anyhow.
Yeah.
This is completely, completely adjustable on attack and release, which is really cool. And it's really nice. That's another company that I didn't really know much about. But from what I've seen so far,
impressed with what I've seen. I mean, the unit again. The unit itself is very well built.
Yeah.
It's really nice, solid step knobs on it.
Yep.
You know,
built all military grade, very high end.
And like big, heavy transformers on the inside, and very, very impressive.
Very impressive. So check that out. That is RSE Audio. Kaiser, should I get the Germanium Chandler compressor from SoftTube on sale right now? I've never used it.
It's like, I think it's on sale for like $80 or something like that. The question I'm always going to ask when somebody asks me about a plugin, and I'm not the person to ask about plugins.
No, because you have them all.
Because I have them all. Is
should I buy a plugin? You're asking this guy.
Do you have a use for it?
Yeah, I mean,
are you missing something that plugin is going to give you?
And I don't know specifically what that particular. I know there's a hardware unit of that.
Yeah,
that seems to be a popular hardware unit.
Yeah, the old EMI Chandler Germanium compressor. You know, I mean, it does a thing.
I don't know what that thing is though.
Yeah, it does a thing. But again, it's one of those things like, are you missing it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
can you demo it, Kaiser?
Yeah, Kaiser, I would demo it and see if you like it enough to pay the money for it and add it to your collection before anything else. But like, as somebody who has 3,000 plugins installed in his computer, I own more than that. I've only got 3,000 installed.
And you only use what, 15?
No, about 300 in the favorites list. You know,
that's not bad. 10%. Use 10%.
I use 10% of what I own. Yeah, about the same way you use 10% of your brain.
Afternoon, E-Logic. Good to see you.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Good to see you.
And who are you calling gentlemen?
Yep. So if you guys have any questions about gear, anything you want to talk about gear,
or plugins,
or the studio business, or running a studio,
or mixing,
mastering. You guys, you know the deal here. You just ask away.
Auto repair,
whatever. We could do everything.
We're a one-stop shop,
Yeah. So we got.
You guys want to talk music? I'm representing my favorite current band at the moment.
Who's that?
The Girls in the Warning.
Oh, the Warning. Yeah, Warning's really.
I'm representing my favorite current band.
Really cool band. And what else? And then we also did the Gain Lab Audio Governor compressor, which is a stereo valve opto compressor.
Yeah. Tube opto compressor.
Yeah.
2-stage opto compressor.
Yeah, they got some really cool unique features in that. Yeah.
Tube drive circuit. Airband circuit.
Yep.
I mean, just like, what didn't that compressor have? And again, it was another of those things where it's like, I didn't have any expectations going into it. You turn it on, and you're not disappointed.
No.
You're not.
Yeah, not at all.
You're like, okay, this does a thing that I've never seen anything else do.
Yeah, it is. It's probably one of the, now that you're thinking, it's probably one of the more versatile compressors.
As far as like an opto compressor, especially, because people tend to think of an opto compressor as like a one-trick pony kind of a thing.
Yeah, like an LA2.
Not that thing.
Right, exactly.
No, that thing does stuff that you've never seen an opto compressor do.
Yeah, because of the two-stage. Yeah, it's
two-stage.
Really good. So it's a really versatile. It could be very subtle and kind of classy and clean. It can get pretty gritty and dirty. It could do the mild thing. We ran it through on regular acoustic music, dance music,
we did
drum loops.
Yeah, we did a drum crush.
Drum crush
with an
really
optical
nice.
Compressor.
Sounded really good.
And it sounded amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought it did.
Okay, who would have thunk?
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
Common has been digging Melodyne Studio version. Now me, I have the what's the one step above? Assistant, which does everything you need Melodyne to do.
Oh, was that a different version of Melodyne?
There's the different levels of Melodyne.
Oh, okay.
But Assistant for me, especially because listen, I'm not a big studio producer guy. You know what I mean? Like I have the Assistant level, and it does everything you need Melodyne to do. In that level, so
Hey, I used to use. I don't know which one I've used Melodyne for years, and now I'm using Repitch.
Yeah, the repitch is cool too.
It's like it's Melodyne. I mean,
yeah,
that's what it is.
Because like they're all using the same. They're all borrowing the algorithm from each other. Because even Waves Tune is a Melodyne-ish kind of one. I know that the repitch. Who is that?
Synchro Arts.
Synchro Arts. Yeah. Because like I just finally got Vocal Line.
That's why when I bought it on whatever sale I bought it on, it came with Vocal Line. I bought the Vocal Line repitch bundle.
Yeah.
And it was they knocked like 45% off, and it was a good deal. That's when I got into repitch. But Melodyne's really great. I mean, I use Melodyne for years.
Yeah, no, I have. That's the other problem. Like with me being the plug-in collector I am. Yes, I have Melodyne. Yes, I have this one. I have that one. I do not have the Synchro Arts one. All I have Synchro Arts was the Vocal Line.
That's a really good plug.
But I'm like every time I need a tuner, I go back to the Melodyne.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's
kind of an industry
and it just does the job for me in a way that I'm just used to it too. You know. So
Kaiser said, "You're definitely right. I forgot you can download it before buying it."
Yeah.
Go buy it and demo it.
That's one of those things because like some of us don't demo. We just buy because we're stupid. but you know.
Hey Jason, what's up?
Jason, how
your
you
racks
doing,
are growing. You finally finished your studio rebuild. Awesome, right? A couple of months ago, you were going through a studio build.
Yeah.
Yep, the racks are growing, but they're going to come down in 2025. You watch.
Yeah, we're probably gonna do a whole little video series about deciding what to keep and what not to keep.
Yeah, there's a lot of, not a lot, but there's a handful of gear here that's going to go soon.
Yeah.
Hey, Chaos.
You guys like to mix with only a limiter on the mix bus and do all the processing in the mix. It depends on the mix, but I have a hardware mix bus chain, and you cannot you cannot do a mix and then put the mix bus chain on it at the end.
I wouldn't.
It has way too much of an effect.
Yeah.
And like if you do a whole mix and then run it through your hardware mix bus, you may have to end up remixing it anyway. So I mix through
into it.
I mix into my hardware chain. Now, if I'm mixing all in the box, on the other hand, then I will do the more Michael White thing where you do the mix bottom up, and then at the end use the mix bus processing to just finish the final touches.
Another way to do it, yeah.
But like I said, if you're mixing hardware on the mix bus, you have to mix into it because it has way too much of an effect.
Yeah, I do. I do. I mix with only a limiter on the mix bus.
Yeah.
No, I have a compressor, an EQ on my master bus. The Neve master bus transformer. So there's like 3 pieces of gear on there, and then it hits the console. And then when it goes into the box on the print track, there's a couple of specialty plugins in there as well.
Yeah, so you did a video on that. You did a video on that. But like I said, as far as like mixing, it depends. For me, especially like if we're working in the box, it depends on the mix itself. Like sometimes I feel like I need to have something on the mix bus, and sometimes I don't. It's kind of a case by case basis.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, if I'm in the box, I'd rather mix bottom up, even though everybody says top down is faster. I'm not mixing for speed, so I don't care.
Right.
I want it at the end of the day. I want it to sound good. I want to be happy with it.
Right.
I don't care how long it took to get to that. E-Logic, you have a question?
Well, there you go.
Go for it.
Hey, Christopher, how are you? And by the way, this live stream helps you in any way, or this channel helps you in any way, feel free to hit the super chat.
We wouldn't mind.
Someone's got to buy him lunch.
Somebody's got to pay the pizza we just ate.
Exactly.
Christopher, hello. Jason
uses Melodyne as well.
See, everybody has the studio version,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what version I have of Melodyne, to be honest.
Yeah.
I've had it for so long, I don't even know.
Well, all I had was the Essentials forever, and then I'd updated it to Assistant a couple years ago. And I was like, do I need to update it again? And the answer was no, I'm good where I am.
Yeah.
So,
Sheriff Logs, is there any news on Dolby Atmos? Do you think it's here to stay?
Hey.
What do you say? I heard
there's a billion plus Atmos devices
on the market. Well, there's Dolby Atmos. Is it here to stay? Yeah.
Yeah, it's here to stay.
It ain't going anywhere.
It ain't going away. Is it a necessary thing?
Not yet. I don't think so. I mean, again, I have not had a single client ask me yet when they hire me to mix about doing a Dolby mix. Not yet.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean, that there won't be. And again, if Apple and Spotify or all the streaming platforms if they're going to one day require it, that'll be different. major labels and major artists and stuff, the major label artists, they're all trying to provide Dolby mixes as extra content for people. As the consumer market for the way you listen to a Dolby mix improves, there'll be more of a need for it. So yeah, I think it's here to stay. There is a lot of, in a good way, there's a lot of Atmos devices out on the market, you know, as far as, are you talking about consumer devices or about devices to use in your studio to do Dolby Atmos mixing?
Yeah, because I can't believe that there's a bill. Because I mean, I have yet to see an Atmos player of any kind or an Atmos headphone. You know,
there isn't a headphone.
Yeah, I have, but I haven't seen one on the market myself.
No, it's a binaural. You know, the binaural thing, which is a little different.
Like, I do know one person, a guy that my brother works for, who has a theater in his place. He has a bed and breakfast kind of a thing, and he has a theater in there, and they did do an Atmos conversion to the theater. But that's a theater.
Yeah, in the movies and stuff, it's been around forever. Yeah, I don't know how long. It's been around 30 years.
There's always been surround. There's been surround sound since the 60s. But now with the Atmos, is because now it's two level. It's around the room and on top.
Right.
You know, but this guy did a full Atmos conversion to that theater.
Yep.
But again, I don't know, and I mean, I haven't seen anybody in their house put an Atmos theater into it. I mean, 5.1 is plenty for most people.
Yeah, so, I just think, it's like anything else. I think it will eventually become more popular as the technology gets better and gets cheaper, certainly.
Yeah.
I don't worry about mixing in Dolby, though. I mean, I have a few students of mine that are actually setting up studios, and they're setting up a Dolby room right from scratch because they just like the idea. And it does sound cool.
Yeah.
Mixing with 13 speakers and having all of that. And if it sounds like it'd be really fun to play with. But in the end, unless the person or the client or whoever's music it is, unless they're sitting in your studio listening to it in that whole setup, as soon as you take it out and go put it anywhere else,
it's a stereo mix.
It doesn't sound much different than the stereo mix.
I mean, I've heard people say that Atmos mixes on, in stereo do, for some reason or other, they sound clearer, or they're more down, or whatever, which is okay, fine.
Maybe they do. I don't know.
Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I'm not personally at my level. I'm not spending any time worrying about it.
No. No. So I think it'll be here to stay. But again, I wouldn't be worried to set up your studio. Long time no see from Thailand.
Wow.
Welcome. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Welcome.
Okay, here's Eric's question.
What's the difference between the Beyerdynamic DT7030, 280, and 250 headphones? Okay. The difference.
Do you know?
The difference is the impedance.
Good thing he's here, because I don't know.
The difference is the impedance, okay? A 32 impedance doesn't need as much signal to drive volume as the higher one does.
Right.
Okay? That's the basic difference between them. So, like, if you have a relatively low power headphone amplifier, you want a lower impedance. If you have a higher power headphone amplifier, you can get away with a higher impedance. The advantage becomes with the higher impedances is that they tend to be clearer, more representative, flatter, whatever. They give you what the headphone's trying to give you better than a lower impedance does.
Okay, fine.
That's the main difference. So basically, it comes down to when you're choosing, if you're going to take 3 770 headphones, you want the one that matches your amplifier.
Okay, right. Right.
So you basically check your amplifier specs, see what it's rated for, and then match your headphone to your amplifier spec.
Yeah, what are you using the headphones for? Is it just like general music listening pleasure, or is it for mixing, or for both?
If it's for mixing, I would go higher impedance were it me. So
but you need the amplifier that you need.
You need the amplifier to handle it.
Drive the
you need the amplifier to drive it. Yeah.
Chaos prefers bottom-up mixing. Tried taking stuff off my mix bus.
Yeah, like I say, I mean, like, because it's, to me, bottom-up mixing is a more pure way to mix, to me. I mean, like top-down mixing, where you start on your mix bus, and then you fix what's underneath, and you fix what's underneath that. I'd rather have a really, really good sounding drum track. And then mix a really good sounding bass track on top of that, and build it that way.
That's how I build it too.
But then I'm in no hurry.
But everybody does it differently.
Yeah, I'm not in a hurry.
No, me neither.
So I mean, like guys that need to mix 2 or 3 songs a day to make their money, top down's the way to go because you get done faster. But you know,
yeah, I never really worked with top. I've done it, but I've never really did a lot of it, so I don't know. But
yeah. Sierra Flock consumer devices. Yeah, again, I don't.
Oh, consumer on the Atmos.
I don't know. You know, I mean, Atmos is one of those things where they talk about it, and I just kind of go la 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 and move on. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really like on the Apple and the earbuds, like the spatial audio or whatever. I've listened to some of those spatial audio mixes, and they're okay. I guess it's okay.
No, I did. Like I said, I know I talked to you about that one time on one of our calls. It's like I've seen a concept. I don't think they've actually building it. I've seen the concept of a planar array headphone that has a whole crap load of little tiny drivers in it. And that you would wear that, the Atmos mix would use that to position the things in different places in the headphone. So when you had the headphone on, I've seen that as a concept. I don't know if it exists or not.
I've never seen it, but it sounds like it's a possibility.
I mean, it's one of those things where like, because like the Navy has planar array radars, which have like 100 different little radar dishes all in one big flat panel. It's kind of the same idea, but transmitting sound instead of radio waves.
Right.
I mean, like, it's conceptually possible. Is it going to be really farking expensive?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, well, at first.
Yeah.
But like all technology, it will eventually become affordable.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, I don't know. You know, like I said, I'm not really into Dolby as far as from a mixing point of view. I don't have any plans to start mixing in Dolby Atmos. I don't get asked about Dolby Atmos, not even never even once.
Well, I think I think if you ever started mixing for labels, it would be a thing.
Well, you know, yeah. Well, again, if you're mixing for labels and you're doing that kind of profile work, well, then Dave will be mixing in Dolby. Yeah, because it sounds like fun. It's just that the investment, the investment, not even in just the gear, but just setting up the room and all of that. Unless an artist is willing to pay the extra money for that mix.
You can get plugins. I have a few. You can get plugins that do Dolby Atmos mixing in the box. So you can do an Atmos mix in the box without having the speaker system around you.
You do it with the headphones.
You do it with the headphones binaurally, and then just do the Atmos mix and send it in. And like if somebody has a full Atmos system, they'll get the different speaker. But you're not necessarily imaging what you're actually doing.
Or what you're hearing.
You know what I mean? Like you're you're basically like, okay, like I would want this to be back there, then here, then up there, then down there, but you're not actually hearing it that way while you're mixing it. You're just building a mix more or less conceptually in the box.
I guess.
Without having the speaker system.
Yeah.
Is it doable? Sure.
You could do anything.
Yeah.
It would be fun to have all the speakers and it'd be fun to play with.
Yeah.
But until I got clients that are willing to pay the money for that extra stuff,
you look at the studio that Colt Caparoon built with like 10 full cal solos, and then the tries and the subs and everything else. I wouldn't even want to try to venture a guess at what that would cost to build. Well, I wouldn't even want to try. You know, I mean, it would just be ridiculous amounts of money. I mean. It would be an incredibly nice car or a down payment on a house.
I don't know if it'd be that much, but I mean, it's still not cheap. You know, well, yeah. I mean, who knows? Yeah. Maybe one day but no time in the immediate future.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Tracy, even if labels are asking for Atmos, eventually in time, if the demand for consumers isn't there, it's artificial.
This is an artificial for what it's
for what it's worth.
Yeah, for what. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. If the consumer, because like, how many? I don't know the exact statistic, but like, isn't it like 80% of the people that consume music in their cars, on earbuds, off of their phone?
Yeah, headphones, earbuds.
You know, I mean,
portable.
The vast majority of people are consuming their music in less than stellar stereo conditions.
Right.
You know, and so you know, are you going to push this huge technology for 20% of the music listening public?
No, I think where the game changes, again, what the hell do we know? But I think where the game changes is when there's a consumer device that you can put on your head, kind of like that concept you were telling me.
Yeah.
That can give you most of the sensation of what it would sound like. Yeah, I don't even know if that's
it's still not going to be
possible. I don't even know.
It's still not
that can get you close to that sensation of when you're sitting in the room in the sweet spot with all the speakers.
Yeah.
When and if that comes to be, and I think it will one day.
Sooner or later, Apple's going to have a set of earpods that costs $1,000, and we'll do that.
And I don't know, but when that happens, then I think it becomes more viable, because then people will want to hear that, and so but I don't know. We just don't know. I mean, all the labels, all the major studios, all the major mixing guys in the industry, they're all jumping on board.
Yeah, but the thing with this is, like, how long have we been talking about Atmos now? 4 years? 5 years?
About 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, it like, we're still talking about it, but it hasn't taken over the industry. Like they were literally talking like, this is it now, right now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
we knew that was, even back then, we knew around COVID time.
Yeah.
2020, we knew then that was just really the ones that made out the most there were all the manufacturers that make speakers. You know, I mean, that's, we knew that there was kind of, I felt almost like an artificial hype around it. Yeah. Because they were trying to sell equipment.
Yeah, it's an industry thing. It's like the industry has, it's supply demand. The industry is supplying something and expecting the demand to exist.
Yeah.
You know, and you know.
But who knows? If Apple has anything to do with it, sooner or later it'll be the industry standard. Now, we may be dead and gone by then. It'll be, you know, the next generation. But
it'll be my nieces and nephews' problem, not mine.
But I won't have to worry about mixing it. So
same here, because I'm not even if I had to worry about mixing it, I wouldn't.
Right.
You know. So
Chaos Dynamics. Atmos is not my thing, but the Origin desk definitely is. Mine too.
Yeah.
And you can go buy one of these today from Sweetwater.com. Tell them Uncle Dave sent you.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, this one's broken.
This one has we think it has a broken button on channel 12.
We broke the desk.
We broke the desk. The button works, but no sound comes out.
It lights up. The light comes on, but nothing works.
So we're going to do a video in a couple of weeks, taking out the channel strip and doing a little bit of an investigation over the insert point on channel number 12.
Yep.
But I've had this thing over going on almost 4 years. Yeah. It's the first problem I've had with it.
One switch in 4 years is a pretty damn good record, I'll tell you.
Not bad. So so the Origin is really cool. Hey, Steve, how are you?
Steven, before Steven Slate rolls out something. Well, I agree with you on that too.
Oh, for his VSX headphones.
VSX headphones. But again, you're not hearing the whole thing on a pair of headphones. You know, I mean,
you're just not
going to do it.
It's not the same. And unless you've tried, if you listen to a binaural mix in headphones, and then if you're lucky enough to go to a place and listen to a real Dolby room with a real Atmos setup, you'll know it's not even in the same hemisphere as far as the sound. It's different.
Yeah.
Both are very cool.
Yeah, and it's always going to be very different. So, you know.
So, but yeah, Slate will come out. Slate's actually coming out with on Wednesday. If you did not know this, Stephen, the VMR, the virtual mix rack, is getting a new update.
Oh God.
So that'll be fun.
Really?
So if you are a Slate Digital subscriber to the All Access Pass or whatever they call it, like I am, you'll get that for free on Wednesday. I don't know what it's about, but I saw the post on Facebook. Yeah. Every iPhone is Atmos listening device, is binaural, is a full down of the Atmos. And given a good Atmos mix sounds better than stereo, it's always improving with software updates. I wouldn't disagree, I guess.
I don't disagree, but at the same time too, I'm not all that concerned. So, you know, and the operative word there, Jason, is a good Atmos mix.
Well, that's but that could be said about a good stereo mix. And I don't think I don't know if I agree. Every iPhone is not an Atmos list. It's not. There's a big difference between sitting in a room with 12 speakers surrounding you and listening to it on, again, we talk about this, listen to it on a pair of whatever you put in your ears. Yeah. It's completely different. I'm not saying that that's bad.
It's not.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying it's not bad.
It's not a good. It's not a good, bad, better, worse, or anything else. It's just a this is what it is, and you know, like it's been 3 or 4 years, and we're still talking about it. But I don't see. Honestly, I didn't see the need for it from day one. So
well,
you know, whatever. You know,
Jason says he thinks we should think of Atmos as more of his delivery format, which will play on whatever device you have. It's a good point.
Okay, fine, sure.
Good point. Down. I'm still not mixing in Atmos. Yeah. And if I needed to, I have 2 engineers that already mix in Atmos. I'll subcontract the work to them.
I mean, listen, Jason and I could sit down for a beer. And we could talk this shit for hours. And at the end of the day, you know, neither one of us are going to change our minds. You know what I mean? Because it's just a thing that exists.
Yeah, it's cool.
You know, and just for me, that's kind of the way it is.
Steven's really looking forward to the VMR update. Yep, absolutely love my subscription to Slate. Love it. Love it. And once they added the SSL bundle to that,
then
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. If what is it like? It's like $19 a month.
I think with the SSL bundle, it's $24.99. But still, even so,
it's worth. I mean, like I have it.
Yeah, it's great.
You know, I mean, like it's the only subscription I own is that one.
Yeah, it's a good one,
and it's worth that to me. You know what I mean? Like. It's just it is that good. I mean, some of their stuff. I mean, I have plugins that I like way better. Like, I mean, sorry, the Infinity EQ is fine, but it's no Pro Q3.
It's
you know what I mean. So it's like but if you have for $24.99 a month with all of that and the SSL stuff, you know, Pro Q3 costs that in a year.
Yeah, I don't know how you beat that bundle.
Yeah, I don't know how you do either. You know.
Have you ever tried the Rode Pod mic? To me, it sounds thin or bad compared to the Lewitt microphone you're using.
Yeah, I agree. But the pod mic is $100, $150,
$100.
You know, USB and or XLR microphone that is intended for people to sit in front of and talk. It's not intended to do any more than that.
The pod mic's probably a really good $99 podcast mic.
Because I have the Rode Procaster, which is basically more or less like a version of the Electro Voice.
The RE20.
The RE20.
Yeah.
And it's so much better of a microphone, you know. But then again, too, you know, it's 3 times the money.
Well, so is this.
You know, yeah. And so it's this 3.5 times the money. But you know, yeah. And this is also a condenser mic as opposed to a dynamic mic.
That's right.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but that pod mic is probably a decent mic for the money.
Oh, it is. If you're doing a podcast,
it's fine, right?
And if you need like 3 or 4 microphones for the podcast, I mean, why? Yeah, for $100 a piece, lay them in there.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a couple podcasts I listen to that use that mic, and they're fine.
Yeah, you know, a little EQ and a little compression, and you're good to go.
Little EQ, little compression, roll it out the door. Everybody's happy.
Everybody's happy.
Besides, you know, another thing we've talked about a lot of times too is the listening public. Isn't going to ask what kind of microphone you're sitting in front of.
No. You can get a great sound out of any of those microphones.
And you know, and honestly, a lot of listening public doesn't know a good sound from a bad sound anyway. So,
right.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, especially for like podcasting and stuff.
So you know.
Jason says, "Hey, I'm still stereo over here because the demand isn't really fully there yet.
Yep.
But I think the demand will get there, and the cost of building a room will come down. It will.
It will. Because everything does.
Technology.
Everything does. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, it will eventually. It will.
Yeah, Devin Townsend. I know. Yeah, Devin Townsend. As much that dude's a psycho case. I love him so much. But yeah, he has an iLoud room.
Yeah,
iLouds. You know,
and that's good speakers.
They're good speakers for the money, especially for the money. They're insane.
They are really good.
I know.
The iLouds are really great. Speakers.
I can't think of his name right now, but one guy on YouTube built an Atmos room with Callies. You know. Which, yeah, it makes sense. $150 a speaker, you go a long way, you know. You get a lot of speaker for a couple grand that way, you know. And Callies aren't terrible, you know.
Now again, you're talking about entry-level price monitors. They're great.
Yeah, they're fantastic. For $150, they're a fantastic monitor, you know.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So what else we got going on, everybody? What are you working on in your studio? What kind of problems are you having in your studio?
We reached the bottom of the chat, David. We never reached the bottom of the chat.
It's a little early in the day. We won't get as many people as we normally do on a day like today.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're happy to jump in and say hello to you anyhow. Let us know what you're working on in your studio. This thing is still...
It's still, yeah. I don't know why it's doing that, but we are live, so, you know.
Apparently.
Well, I hope so. Either that or we're talking to ourselves this whole time, and these people don't actually exist.
Gotta love YouTube.
Yeah. No,
Gotta love YouTube.
No, you really don't, but, you know.
So what else? You know. What other videos we got coming? So we got...
I'm gonna be doing a studio tour.
Studio tour soon.
Yep.
We want to take a look at those harmonic EQs that you have.
I got to bring, yeah, there's a few pieces in my studio that I have got to bring over here. The harmonic EQs are definitely one of them.
Yep.
I've got that Golden Age version of the 2254 mono.
Oh yeah, Golden Project or whatever.
Yeah, Golden Age Project. I've got, and that's the upgraded one with the Carnhill transformer in it and stuff. So that's something we need to play with.
That'll be fun.
The one video that we missed doing because you sold yours was we never did the Bluey comparison between my 500 unit and your full size unit.
Oh well.
But you know, it was a video that I always wanted to do.
Yeah, we didn't get around to that.
We just never got to it, you know.
We didn't get around to that. And then when we get the and it probably won't happen until the end of this month, maybe not till the beginning of next month, we'll eventually get an Audioscape Fair Comp, the Fairchild. We'll do some videos on that, but there's no EST on when that's going to show up.
Once we get the forklift in here to pick it up and put it on the rack, you know.
We will eventually do that.
Yeah, that's going to be some fun because hopefully we still have that RNE audio. We have, if that one's still here, we can do a full
RSC.
Yeah, we can do that. You know.
Yeah. So we got those videos coming, and I got some more mixing workflow stuff that we're going to do in 2025. So there's more videos coming.
Yeah.
Don't you worry. What is your opinion of the Audient Evo 16 and the dual Evo SP expansion for recording and mixing with outboard gear? I had to choose between that and the dual Cranborn.
I don't have an opinion.
I don't know. I've never used any of that gear, so I don't know.
I couldn't tell you. Let me see here. What is this thing?
You can look it up and see what it's all about.
Yep. Let's see. Audio.
And I'll just go over to Jason. What do you wonder what you think of the new line of WA Warm Audio 76s? Well, I guess in time we'll tell if the quality's there. Yeah, I haven't tried them. Those are the stereo 1176. They got two versions, right? The D version, the blackface version, and then the silver face, the blue stripe version.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's cool. They're putting out new products. I don't know. Yeah, again, I'm sure they sound okay. I don't know anything about the quality. I have no interest in testing the units. I'm not going to buy them. I'm not, like I said, I only have one piece of warm audio, and I really like it, and it's that WA1B, the TubeTech clone. I really like that. Did a video on that months ago. That was a surprise compressor to me.
Yeah.
The rest of their stuff, I don't know. I think it's hit or miss. We'll see. Well, like you said, the biggest thing with warm audio, again, I've always said is in the past, the inconsistent quality.
Yeah.
Quality control.
There were inconsistencies between units. There was inconsistency as far as quality of build quality and stuff like that. But that was, I think, pretty early on. Now
it could be all fixed and it could be great. I don't know.
Yeah, I have had warm audio pieces. I had the bus comp. I had a couple preamps. And I mean, we did a bus comp comparison here with the warm audio.
We did, yeah.
It acquitted itself well. I mean, am I going to say it's as good as a genuine SSL bus compressor? Hell no, I'm not going to say that.
Because it's not.
Because it's not. But
we heard it clearly in that video.
But I am going to say that it was a perfectly serviceable bus compressor, and if you needed a bus compressor, especially working on a budget, that it is certainly a fine choice to make.
Sure. Excuse me.
I had their WA273 preamp and I had their WA412 preamp. So I had the Neve and the API.
You liked them.
And I enjoyed them. They were very good. I mixed through them because I'm psycho. And, and they did a very good job. And the WA273 is doing a very good job in Jimmy Farmer's rack now.
Yep.
You know,
I know a lot of people use warm audio and love it.
Yeah, and like
I know more people that say they really like it than I've had people complain to me.
But I will say this about the WA273 is I had a WA273 preamp. I now have a pair of Golden Age Neve style preamps. They're premium line in my chain. And do they sound better than the warm audio? Yes, they do. Now, that is a subjective opinion, of course. Okay?
Yeah, it's all of this
That's
stuff is
a subjective opinion. It is my opinion that the golden age preamps that I have in there now sound better than the Warm Audio WA273 did.
Okay.
That's the way it is. You know what I mean? Now, I didn't regret owning the WA273, and you know, I would certainly recommend it to anybody who needed an inexpensive Neve style preamp. But at the same time, again, I'll come back to the same thing. Is it as good as so-and-so or so-and-so or so-and-so?
Depends on who you ask.
Depends on who you ask.
Right.
You know? I mean, because like if you're gonna balance something just based upon price, this one costs 3 times as much as this one, so this is 3 times better. No.
No, but it's not that.
No, it doesn't exist that way.
It's not like that.
But there are distinct quality differences between the components used.
Absolutely.
You know, and assembly, and because like you pick up this one or you pick up that one, you can feel the differences between
without a
them. You know, and stuff. So like there are quantifiable physical differences between them. Is one better than the other? Well, that's up to your ears and your budget.
Right.
And those are the deciding factors at the end of the day. Now, I know like I know WA just redid basically their whole line. You had the WA76 in your studio a long time ago, and
years and years ago.
You were not impressed.
Nope.
Okay, and I get that.
The quality was fine. I know. Yeah. Well, I can't tell you. I sent it back so quickly. I didn't have a long enough to know.
You were actually doing it on that was on home recording.
Yeah.
You actually did that against the plugins, and the plugins won.
They were equal, or the plugins were slightly better at the time. I don't remember, but I wasn't impressed enough to keep them.
Yeah, and the rationale being like a $30 plugin versus a $300 compressor.
Yeah.
If they sound the same, save your money, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it is what it is. But that's the problem we run into with audio hardware. Is there are different levels of quality, there's different levels of price, there's a lot of different things going on. But at the end of the day, they're trying to do the same job.
Right.
And they've tuned them all now to the point where they're all doing the job. And then it becomes a very subjective matter of what sounds better to you. And
also the quality. There's no subjectivity to whether the unit breaks down or not.
Correct. Yeah, but you know, like but like I said, the thing with this is if Warm Audio was still having massive quality issues,
and I don't know that that's the case.
Okay, yeah,
I don't think that's the case.
Let me change the statement. If Warm Audio was having massive difficulties of quality control, they wouldn't exist anymore.
Right. That exactly. If they were, they weren't that bad. So I don't know.
Okay.
But I guess time will tell on the new 76s. Right. He has a Warm Audio.
Yeah, the microphones. I know the microphones. The microphones are cool, but again, it's the same thing. Listen, a Warm Audio WA87 is not a U87.
No, but I don't think anybody would expect it to be.
Yeah, and you wouldn't expect it to be, you know.
You wouldn't expect
it to be. But I mean, I've never seen anybody take a Warm Audio 87 and a genuine U87, put them side by side and tell me which one, you know, what the differences are as far as like
nobody on YouTube has done that? I'm sure
I'm sure they did. I haven't seen it.
Somebody has.
You know. Anyway, let's go back to Stephen N's thing for a second.
Where'd he go? Okay,
Stephen. It's an interface.
What are you looking at?
It's an interface. It's an 8-channel interface. It's just like for my Personas or your Personas or the Focusrites or whatever else. It's an interface. It's an Audient interface. It's one. The Evil line is Audient's more budget end interfaces.
I'm sure it's fine.
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll do the job just fine.
Well, you had to choose between that and a dual
Cranboard. Well, you're talking about 2 completely different pieces of equipment now.
Yeah. What's the dual Cranboard 500 ADAT?
That's the 500 rack with the ADAT built into it. You know, with the 500 rack with the controllers and everything built into it.
That's a 500 series chassis?
That's 500 series chassis. You're talking 2 completely different kinds of pieces of equipment here. I mean, one does a different job than the other one does. So,
yeah, okay. You know. Then that's that.
I mean, but like I said, as far as like the Audient is concerned, it's an interface. You know, I mean,
it's probably. I'm sure it's. All the interfaces today are good.
Yeah, I've said it a million times. I have a Focusrite Claret 8 Pre, the original one, not even the second version one. That is going to be my interface until it dies.
Until it drops dead on you.
And when it drops dead, then I'll probably go buy something very similar to it. But I mean to me, the interface it just has to work at this point.
Yeah.
You know,
all the parts are fine.
Because and I hate to bring the subject up, but with all of the converter shootouts we've done, I stopped caring. I completely stopped caring. I don't care. Whatever you have, if it converts digital audio and audio to digital, if it gets audio into and out of your DAW,
it's probably fine.
It's probably fine.
It's probably fine.
You know.
So let's see, where are we now?
Chaos Dynamics wants to know what kind of. What
are you using?
I am using a set of Focal Solos. I mean, the newer one. I forget. It's not the Solo 6B. It's whatever the version after that is.
The ST.
I have a pair of Yamaha HS5s.
Okay.
And I have a Yamaha sub, the HS8 sub.
Yep.
And I run everything through an Audient Nero controller. And to me,
that's desktop monitor control.
That's
a nice piece of gear.
That is the most important piece of gear you have running. I have running right now, because I could honestly get rid of the Focals right now and just mix with the HS5s and room correction. I'm going to qualify that with room correction. Yeah. Honest to God, spend the $300 to get the frickin' IK Multimedia Arc 4 Studio. Spend the $300, go buy it.
Yeah, if you're serious about
whatever
mixing,
whatever set of monitors you have is now fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know,
just got to learn the speakers.
Yeah, but like the room correction is everything, guys. Room correction is everything. Repeat after me. Room correction is everything.
And acoustic treatment.
Okay?
An acoustic treatment.
Because room
correction does nothing if the room's not the treatment.
Okay, fine. I have a giant bed in the middle of my room.
That's what I'm saying. Acoustic treatment, room correction, decent set of monitors, you'll be good to go.
But listen, room correction is everything. You can take any set of monitors, decent, please.
Yep.
Decent monitors. You can take any set of decent monitors you have, the Arc Studio, print the room, and go. And that's it. Because I swear to God, like right now, like I have HS5s printed with and without the sub. I have the Focals printed with and without the sub. Now, keep in mind, the sub is running off the Audient. The speakers are not running through the sub.
Yeah, it's got a separate sub input.
It's a separate sub output to that. So it's independent from the speakers. Okay? I have printed both sets of speakers with and without the sub. So I've got 4 room prints. I can switch back and forth between all 4 of them, and each and every one of them is a perfectly fine mixing environment. The difference between the Yamahas and the Focals, the way I quantify difference is the Focals are very warm. The HS5s are very cold. But other than that, I could mix them. I could sell the Focals tomorrow and mix through the HS5s and function perfectly fine. And it's all thanks to a $300 Arc Studio.
Yep, that makes a big difference.
And so swear to God, man, get a decent set of monitors, buy the Arc Studio, and go. And stop thinking about it. You know?
There you go. So there's your answer for that. Jason says it really doesn't care if the WA sounds like the real thing.
Oh, by the way, you didn't tell me what kind of monitors you use.
Oh, I'm using the Focal Trio ST6s. There's a video on the channel when I reconfigured Studio showing them being brought in.
With a sub.
And with the Focal sub. And using room correction, but I'm using a Trinoff.
Yeah, he has the Trinoff Nova, which...
It's great.
Yeah, I swear to God, that Trinoff is, I mean, I love the Arc Studio, don't get me wrong. That Trinoff does things.
Well, it just does more, but it
does things.
It does more, but no, I don't ever have to. I don't even check my mixes on multiple speakers anymore. I don't have to. I know if they sound right on the Focals, I know they're going to translate.
Yeah, see, Jason.
Where's Jason? Okay,
you put him third. Jason, I don't care if the W sounds like I care if it sounds good. Exactly. Does the mic sound good? Does it do the job you want it to do? Do the headphones sound good? Do the speakers sound good? Do the job you want to do? That's all that matters. At the end of the day.
Yep. Steven was going to use an
ADAT for preamps instead of the SP8s. Yeah, okay. See, here's the thing. Preamps are preamps. The preamps that come in virtually every audio interface made, the preamps that are made in there are made to be as inobtrusive as possible. They just take whatever comes out of the mic and put it into the DAW without doing anything to it.
Yeah, they're typically really clean, transparent.
If you want preamp color, you have to get it somewhere else.
Right.
So
yeah, it's not going to happen in a little
So in the case of your use case, if you want preamp color, go with the ADAT. If you want more preamps and don't worry about the color, save the money and go with the SP8.
Yep.
So that's your deciding factor is color versus budget, and go.
Jason's using the KRK V8s.
Those are actually really good speakers.
I know people use the Rockets.
Well, the Rockets are their budget line.
Yeah, and they love them.
Yeah, the Rockets are actually their budget line, and Steve, Jason's a pair above that, or a couple, or a step or two above those.
And he has a 10-inch sub.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, nice setup, man. And I agree with you on the hoping they never die thing, because I don't know. I mean, most people do know the story about me and my heads.
Yeah, they've died. You had a couple of.
I had a pair of head
manufactured
defects. 07 Mark IIs.
Yep.
And the matching sub, and they were really. I mean, dude, they sounded really good. They really did sound really good. I had 2 die in 2 years.
Yeah, it was like the left speaker.
It was the right speaker.
Was it the right speaker?
The right speaker died twice.
That's amazing.
And
what are the chances of that?
Yeah, and I am just like after the second one died. Now I'm lucky because I've got Alto Music in my backyard, and Alto Music is
and they sold it to you.
Yeah, they're what is it, Rave Import or whatever the hell they're called. I'd have to look it up again. But the importer for they're the American importer for Head and for Heritage Audio and for Black Lion. Whatever, Rad Audio. Okay.
Yeah, RAD.
Yeah, that's the same company. The Alto Music and Rad Audio are the same company. Okay.
Yep.
I'm lucky. I've got their home office like right in my backyard. I carried those speakers in, and I'm like, what are you going to do for me? So basically what they did is they gave me trade-in value on them, and I bought the Focals.
Yep.
But they gave me trade value on all 3 pieces. You know what I mean? And they were really cool about it. It's like, like, we get it. You know what I mean? Like, they said too, it's like, you're the only one that's ever had a speaker fail, and you've had 2 fail.
Yeah, that's really strange.
And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing that other people aren't doing, but
I do think they got a batch that just had a bad component.
But I was like, okay, great. Because like
really
when they replaced the first one, they replaced them both so that I had a matched pair. And and another one died, and I'm like,
yeah, I remember that.
And I remember I'm walking in there, I'm like, guys, I can't
have that.
I can't function like this. So
whoops, chaos.
So you'll never see me use or recommend Head speakers to anybody ever again. But I will recommend Alto Music and Rad distribution every day for the rest of my life.
Alto's good people.
He
uses Dirac room correction, and he's using the H5s with a sub.
Want something better, but I need a bigger. Yeah, okay. The whole thing with the HS5s is, like I said, is like they are very cold.
I've never used them.
They're very cold. I mean, some people will compare them to the Yamaha NS10s as far as sound quality is concerned. They're not even remotely.
I don't think they're those.
But they do that Yamaha thing, in that way. If you want like a nice, warm, in-depth, like really good sound field. If you want that, you're not going to get them from the HS5s.
So he wants something better, but he'll need a bigger room first.
Yeah, I mean, because on all honesty, with my room, my Focals are more speaker than I need. Not by a little bit either. A lot more speaker than I need. So
Steven says, "Does a sub make that big of a difference with the quality of your mix decision and balances?" Absolutely.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
But a sub that is tuned in and dialed in correctly. Most people use subs in a way where they turn them up way too loud. And if you don't have a sub dialed into the room correctly, and if you don't have the proper acoustic treatment in a room, a sub will make your mixes.
It'll mud you up like crazy.
You'll get the low end will be so hard to control. So a sub makes a big difference.
Yeah.
But it's also probably one of the more difficult speakers to place in the room correctly and to get everything right.
The thing with a sub, in all honesty, is like if you can hear it, it's too loud.
Yeah,
If you can hear that sub clearly, it's too loud.
Yeah, it should not overtake your main speakers.
Yep.
it should sound like what it's designed to be, an extension of, like if you listen to music here,
fill in the low end without.
Yeah, if you listen to music in this room, if I didn't tell you where there was a sub, you wouldn't necessarily know there was a sub. You'd say, wow, you thought all of that low end was coming out of these speakers, because it's not overpowering.
Yeah, yeah.
And the Trin-Off
balances
really,
that for you.
really helped me get that.
Yeah.
And it took a while to get used to it, because the first time I used a Trin-Off, it took a lot of 50, 60 out hertz. And I was like, holy crap, I can't hear the sub anymore. But once you got used to that and you realized.
Yeah. And it's the same. It's the same thing with the ARC. The ARC
no, it's perfect.
Yeah, the ARC really rounded down the sub.
Because everybody uses too much sub.
Yeah, and yeah, because like, you know, the ARC really rounded the sub off, but I can still. If I switch back and forth between sub, no
you
sub,
can hear that.
I can hear the difference. Right. I know that it's not there.
Right.
And I miss it.
But it does make a big difference. But it needs to be set up right, and not all subs are created equal.
Correct.
You want to be very careful. I think with really budget entry level $100 subwoofers, $200 subwoofers.
The Yamaha's about as low as I would ever go.
You got to get it if you're going to get a subwoofer. You want one that's extremely efficient. Has really good specs on it.
Yeah.
And again, most importantly, the room is a huge factor. You want to get your room dialed in before you drop a sub in there, or you'll have the mixing decisions will be more and more complex.
And room correction.
And that's part of tuning the room.
Part of tuning the room. Yeah.
The KRKs before they did the Rocket line.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Same with the NS10s, extended low end, not as much of the mid-range push. Yeah. So in other words, a pair of NS10s that don't sound like shit.
Well, SN10s were not designed to sound good.
No, they sound like shit. Well, they were supposed to be a desktop, a bookshelf speaker for home stereos.
That's exactly
you would expect them to sound good, would you not?
Right. Well, not in the 80s or in the 70s.
They sound like shit.
Yeah. So that was the thing. So everyone that mixed on NS10s, if you can get it to sound right on MS10s, it's going to sound great.
It'll sound great everywhere. Yeah.
But mixing on NS10s, if you've ever done it, is a harsh experience.
Well, I've got it. I've got the NS10s in my headphone thing. I can't think of it right now. The one you did a video on them too, but real phones.
The real phones.
I have the NS10s in there, and I will listen through them sometimes, and I am just like, man, 5 minutes of those, and I'm like, no,
it really can hurt.
No,
it really will hurt your ears.
Just no, you know. Yeah, chaos like stuff. Yeah, sub is one of those things where you don't appreciate having it until you have it, and then once you have it, you never want to be without it. You know.
Yeah, once you mix with it, once you get used to it, you'll realize, oh, yeah, this is great. Especially especially if you're working with material that has a real lot of low end in it, like dance and electronica music in particular.
You want to be able to image that.
Or if you're doing cinematic stuff where you really want, soundscaping and movie soundtracks with, explosions and all that stuff, that low end makes a big difference.
Like imagine a good war movie without all that bottom end.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Makes a huge difference, yeah.
Sheriff says that there are also people complaining about how bad Atmos is for cinema and movies, especially Disney.
I think it depends how you're mixing it.
Someone sitting in the corner of a big room would not be getting the best sweet spots.
It depends on the mix. It depends on the mix in the mixer. It really does. I mean, but I do get that where like if you're sitting in dead center in a movie theater, you get the full experience. If you're sitting in the back row, all that stuff that's coming down in front of you, you're not getting.
Unless you have a Trin-Off in your theater.
Yeah, unless they have a Trin-Off in the theater that controls all that.
So did you know that Trin-Off, before they were in pro audio and they did stuff for people like us, their big claim to fame, and they've been around for a long time.
Yeah, movie theater.
Is theaters.
Yeah.
They have some of the most largest and the biggest, they call it their pro, they call it pro audio is what they call it, in the world. Are all outfitted with George Lucas Studios. That was one that Antoine told me about. Is all set up with Trin-Off.
Yeah, Lucasfilm never spared a dime for anything.
And there is technology, which is coming, by the way, to the Nova. I know this because I work with those guys. They have some really cool firmware and software technology in their theater systems that kind of do what we were just describing. That.
Yeah.
For example, the low ends. They got, I don't even know how to describe it. No matter where you sit in the theater,
you get it all.
It's exactly the same. It tastes like
there's
a bunch of scientists that are trying to design it.
There's science shit going on there. But they, dude, you do your thing. I'm not even going to pay attention.
And that is starting to next year trickle down some of that technology into things like the Nova.
Yeah.
Where you're going to have in the end, more accurate low end, a larger sweet spot. If I'm sitting here, which is where the Nova is currently tuned, or whether I'm standing over there, the sound,
which will come in very handy for this studio.
Very handy. So yeah, but I don't know. I don't know much about what Sheriff's saying here, but I believe you.
Yeah, whereas home theatrical, the main complaint is that people invest lots of money in the height speakers. Is real. Most people mix like channel-based audio with little. Yeah, because like home theater, a 5.1 or 7.1 home theater doesn't have the and if it is what it is,
Oh yeah, yep. He was just
information coming from your height speakers. Maybe height speakers don't translate over. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Yep. Do you decouple your sub from the floor at all? I had to put mine on some decouplers because it was vibrating my feet too much. Yes, I have mine decoupled as well.
Yes, I have mine. Well, my room is carpeted, and then mine are up on the discs.
You got the ISO acoustic. That's what I have.
It's up on the disc. It's fine. It's fine.
Yep, I decoupled mine from the floor as well.
Yeah, it's fine.
And even if it's not a wooden floor, even if you have a concrete, like this is a concrete slab.
Yeah.
Once I got that sub off the concrete, there's a difference.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I decoupled mine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took my sub in the living room and never returned it. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, once you get used to a sub, it's hard to
It's funny, like
hard to give it up.
My home theater is a Logitech 2.1. It's just 2 satellite speakers and a sub. It's all I ever needed. You know what I mean? Like, I've had that set. I've had that set in there for like 10 years now. I pray it never dies because it's just, I don't, it's perfect for what I do.
Yeah.
I don't even have surround. I don't bother with it. It just comes from there and,
You're old school.
Well, I'm old. So,
Old school. Let's see. Got a couple more comments here. He's only experimented with using in a PA 18 subs through an Evo and a QSC touch mix. It sounded great, but I couldn't get it balanced enough to mix with.
Well, yeah. You got 18-inch PA subs. I don't know what room you're in. I would hope you're in a stadium somewhere doing that.
Yeah, that's a live. That's a
live sound thing. Yeah, but no, you're right. It's and especially like live sound mixing too, because like I went to a show in a new venue in Middletown a couple weeks ago, and it's one of those places where like this is one of those guys where like it's like a sports complex where you have like different games, stuff like that. And, we're going to take this piece of the room and we're going to make it into a concert hall. Never once giving one thought whatsoever to the acoustics of the room. Worst sounding room I've ever been in my life. Like I walked into that room and I just went, oh, this is going to sound like ass.
Probably did.
And it did.
Most clubs do though.
It was awful. And the guy mixing it was just did not have the chops to compensate for it. And he was compensating with volume instead. And it's like,
right.
And you're just like, bro, I'm glad I got my Sonics in because I'd go home deaf now.
What's that thing when the ringing in your ear? What's that
I have tinnitus.
Tinnitus.
Yeah, I have tinnitus.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I am an audio engineer. I cannot hear diddly squat above 11.5K, and I have tinnitus.
That's terrible.
And I'm still an audio engineer, and I can still do good mixes.
You can.
So figure that one out.
Let's see. I heard in India cinemas are not set up correctly, and in the UK there's only 7. I have no idea, man. You're talking about stuff I have no clue.
It's again, it's one of those,
it sounds like you read too many things on the internet.
Well, plus he's really into this.
Yeah. I don't know anything about that.
All right, bro. Bro is really into this, which is cool.
Cool.
You know what I mean? That's awesome. My thing with it again too is like I come back to the same thing. It's like it's relatively new technology. It's incredibly expensive. It's going to take time to ramp it up into everything.
And it will. Eventually.
And eventually everything will be ramped up. But it's going to be a long time coming. And again, it's one of those things like, I'm going to say it out loud. I am 1 month away from turning 60 years old.
Good for you.
You know the old dog new trick saying?
It ain't gonna happen.
It ain't happening.
But they're not looking at you. They're looking at the 15-year-old kid.
They don't make music. They don't
care about you.
They don't make music for me. They don't make movies for me. They don't make television for me.
That's right.
I am not your target audience.
Not even close.
And as an amateur audio engineer with some release credits to my name, I am not about at this point in time to revamp my whole thing to fit a new technology.
No. but a lot of new people will.
I'm going to stay the dinosaur. That's who I'm going to be. I'm going to sit and I'm going to watch it all happen. And I'm just saying, this is all very interesting.
Good for you.
Good for you.
I'm getting my flip phone out.
Yep.
And that's it.
I'm going to break out my flip phone.
And my 2.0.
Exactly. My 2.1. And
my boom box on my kitchen counter.
Exactly right. And I'm just going to move on with it.
Get off my lawn.
Exactly right. That's who I am,
Chaos. I do live mixing at my work, and we have a L Acoustics PA. Everything is tuned to the venue. Oh yeah, if it's tuned to the venue and it's a stationary PA in the room, I'm sure it sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, like that's what I'm just saying too. It's like if you've got to tune to the room. Like you like the show I went to. The guy comes in with his JBLs and his thingy.
Yeah,
and they put the speakers in and they turn them on and they start playing. It's like it takes a long time, especially a new room like that. You've got to tune to the room. And they were like, you should have seen this, dude. There was like the stage is here. This wall comes straight out, but this wall jogs over about 20 feet, and then it comes out, and then there's just freaking like wide open steel girders in the ceiling, and concrete floor, and no treatment.
Oh yes, that's like a big echo chamber. It was like,
oh my! I walked in, I went, oh my God!
It would be great to record a drum.
Stick the drums right in the middle of the room.
A drum set in that
I
room.
walked in there and I am like, oh my God!
Not for a band, no way.
I am glad I brought my Sonics because this is going to be painful.
Yeah, that's terrible.
All right, Jason and I have to talk.
What does he say?
Yeah, you missed seeing when they came through Cleveland, Jason. I had tickets.
Oh, the warning.
I had tickets to the show in the city in Brooklyn. Work shit came up and I missed it. And I am not going to talk about it because...
But didn't you just go to their show, though?
Yeah, no, I didn't make that show. I didn't make it.
In Brooklyn?
Yeah, I didn't make it.
Oh.
I didn't make it.
I thought you told me you were going.
I was going. I had VIP meet and greet the whole 9 yards.
And you didn't go?
Didn't make it. Work shit came up. I didn't make it.
That's a quality... What do they call that? A work-life...
Yeah, that's a work-life balance issue.
That's a
work-life balance issue.
Work and personal life balance issue.
I don't know, Jason. I don't know how long you've been following them. I discovered them in 22, and
They're good bands.
I was on their Patreon for a while, but I like to use my Patreon budget for people that actually benefit from the thing. They've got 4,000 patrons. I mean, they're making $100,000. They're making $50,000-$60,000 a month on Patreon. They don't need by $20. Okay,
probably
they can survive without it. There's other people that
you'll buy the record when they comes out.
Yeah, but my thing with that band is they're doing something really interesting of playing like old classic rock and roll, but throwing in real modern, interesting twists to it.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that they are children.
Basically, they're in their early 20s.
I mean, like the oldest is 24.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for over 10 years. They literally like their bass player was 9. You know what I mean? When they started, it's like you look at this band, and as good as they are, as talented as they are, the level of songwriting they can do. Now, I mean, as far as like being actual players is concerned, they're not rewriting the book. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
they just play good straight ahead rock and roll.
Straight ahead rock and roll with really interesting modern twists. I mean, like they're into K-pop and stuff like that, and some of that works its way into the music. But they're just an amazing, and 3 girls from Mexico doing this.
Yeah, they're great. I like them. I like them. They were fun.
They're a band that actually made me excited to see a band again.
There you go, and that's then they're doing their job.
Yeah, and.
What about AI? What about AI?
What about AI? We're not talking about AI.
That's right back to get off my lawn.
Yeah, you're exactly right.
That's for all the young bucks.
Yeah. Jason, I would not have answered the phone.
That's right.
Unfortunately, sir, when you attach, I'm the parts department manager of an auto dealership. When you attach the name manager to the end of your name,
I still would have answered the phone.
Well, you know my room.
I would have forwarded it over to your underling to go to work.
Listen, things happen.
Look, worst life balance. See? That's the word. Yep.
Worst life balance issues ever. Yeah, believe me. Oh, I know Bandmate, bro. I know Bandmate very well. Bandmate's another one. Bandmate.
I don't think I've ever listened to their
Bandmate. Stuff. Like if you talk about the warning to Bandmate. Bandmate is another all-girl band.
Okay.
In Japan. In players. They write their own, they play their own. virtuoso level guitar player, virtuoso level bass player.
What kind of music?
Very heavy rock.
Like
very heavy
like
rock.
Heavy, like how heavy?
Like you're in the reign of
like Linkin Park, Tool.
No, not screamo, but like straight ahead hard rock, but very heavy.
Okay, cool.
Virtuoso playing.
Really? Are they young?
They're in their 30s.
That's young.
They've been around for 10 years. They're 20s to 30s, roughly. You know what I mean?
I'll have to check them out. I don't know.
Another one. There's other ones too.
All girl bands.
All girl band. Yeah, all girl band.
No kidding.
The guitar player is the main songwriter.
But they ever toured the U.S. or you don't?
They've been to the U.S. doing like festivals and stuff, but they've never done a full-on U.S. tour. You know.
Hey, Robert, how are you?
Somebody's creating a chat direct to the end of my name. I still didn't answer the phone. I know. Listen, I am what I am, guys. Okay.
He is what he is.
I am what I am, guys. Sorry.
Larkin Poe is a killer band.
Larkin Poe is amazing. Their latest album, Blood Harmony, is sick, dude. It's an amazing record. Very, very.
It's good to see you, Adam. By the way.
Very, very southern.
Yeah,
blues,
I've heard their stuff. Yeah, they're really good.
Really amazing
good.
band. There's a concert on YouTube of them with a Rock Palace concert with them from Germany. You should watch it. It's really good show. You know.
Cool, man.
Yeah. Hey, Robert Booth, how are you?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, Robert. Nice to see you. Hi, Adam. Hi. By the way, hi, Adam. Good to see you too. Yeah. What's interesting, like right now for me, is for the most part, I'm finding more interesting music being made by girls and guys right now.
Really?
Yeah. It's amazing. Although I have discovered there are some really interesting bands. There's a band I just discovered this year called The Commoners.
Okay.
They're Canadian, but I refer to them as a less annoying Black Crowes.
Oh, you don't like the Black Crowes?
Oh, I don't. It's not that I don't like the Black Crowes. It's just that this band is a less annoying version of them.
I love the Black Crowes.
Okay, I mean, so you check out the Commoners then.
Maybe I like them.
It's a really good band. You might really like them. It's that same kind of
southern bluesy rock.
Yeah, that same kind of vein of music.
Not too heavy.
Another one that you would probably not like is Dead Poets Society.
I like them.
You do like Dead Poets Society.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah.
They're okay.
Okay. Yep. They're an interesting band. It's like vocally he does some interesting things and stuff. But another band, like really exciting to see bands like that coming along again. You know, because you just don't see them as often anymore. It's like everybody goes pop and mainstream. Like, and I'm still an old heavy metal hard rock guy.
Taylor Swift. Do you think modern chart music is bad? No, I don't think anything.
No, I don't think any music is bad.
Like hip hop or TikTok music. I don't know. My daughter knows a lot about TikTok music. I don't. But
I personally I don't think any music is bad. I do not look down on anybody for their musical taste. I do not question anybody's musical taste.
It's art.
What I do say is that music does not speak to me.
Right.
Which is, does not make me right and you wrong, or you right and me wrong.
No.
It just doesn't speak to me the same way. Like you just said the name, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swiftie, the Swifties.
I have all the respect in the world for Taylor Swift as an artist, as a songwriter, as a performer, everything. You don't get to be a billionaire by sucking at your job.
Nope, you got to be good at what you do.
But when I listen to Taylor Swift music, it just kind of like, and it's gone.
Well, yeah, she's a younger audience.
But Taylor Swift did do a Tiny Desk concert.
Yeah, you told me that, and you said it was really good.
She did a Tiny Desk concert where she just walked in. It was her. No band, no nothing. She had an acoustic guitar and a piano. She sat down, she played the acoustic guitar, she sang. She sat at the piano, she sang. I'm looking at her, I'm going, these are good songs. She's a really good singer. It's an engaging performance. You don't need the dancers and the band and the light show and the Eras tour thing that she did.
Yeah.
Sit down at a piano guitar and play that. You know what I mean? And I'm there.
Well,
that's
not the majority of her audience.
Yeah, so. I know that. And that's also, you don't get to be a billionaire by doing that. You know what I mean?
Right. And she is.
Yeah, and she is. So, but that's the same thing too. It's like Lady Gaga. I mean, like when Lady Gaga was Joanne with 5 more names after that. And she was doing YouTube videos of sitting at a piano and playing and singing. She's an amazing artist.
She is.
But then, like she said, like she did a 60 Minutes interview that I've always had the most respect for her for. She did a 60 Minutes interview where she's like, literally, I would have come out naked if I could have. She just wore like a white bodysuit.
Yeah.
And one of the things she said was that when she knew that she could write music and sing, she didn't know how to be famous. So she started studying. She's a PhD in fame.
No
kidding. You know what I mean? And when she like studied everybody, how did you get people? And she just did it all. You know?
Yeah.
And
yeah, I don't like her music all that much, but again, I can't deny what she's done.
Yeah, you strip it back to just music. She's actually incredible.
Great artist for sure.
You know, but when you stack all that crap on top of it, I'm going over here now.
Right,
you know what I mean? So you know, but again, like modern country, I'm going to sit here and say flat out, it sounds all the same. To me. It sounds all the same. I grew up on Johnny Cash and Waylon Jennings and Tammy Wynette. You know what I mean? Like, I grew up on country music.
Yep.
Garth Brooks came along and started whatever it is now. You know what I mean? And it's like there was country music. To me, there was country music before Garth Brooks and country music after Garth Brooks. And it doesn't speak to me. Now, I've got nieces and nephews that listen to country music all day long. And I'm like, great, you found something that speaks to you.
Right.
Fantastic. You know, go for it. I'm just not going to sit down and listen to it with you.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
So, you know.
Cool.
You know?
So what else we got, guys? Anything else? We've been on here, what, about
How are you guys finding all these new bands? You go on YouTube and you just go on YouTube or down Spotify rabbit holes and just follow the money.
Yeah, you go to any of the streaming platforms. I'll recommend the playlist and check out the things.
Or you find something you do like and you go to what they're recommending. You look for a name you don't recognize. You listen to that. If you like it, then you know what I mean, and you keep going. That's how I found the commenters. It came up on my suggestion. Who are these guys? Click. Oh, I like these guys. Now they're in my playlist.
There you go.
You know,
got it.
The thing with it is to find it, you have to be open to looking. You have to be open to it.
You gotta be open-minded.
You have to be open to it.
Right.
Like I found The Warning because they popped up in my YouTube feed one day with their concert from Teatro Metropolitan. And I'm looking at it going, first of all, she's really cute. And second of all, she's playing a white frickin' Explorer. And like, I got to see what this is. You click the play button, and 5 minutes later, you're like looking up everything you can about them because
they're a good band.
They're an amazing band, but you never would have discovered them if you hadn't been open to clicking the play button.
No, I hear you.
On a suggestion on YouTube. You know?
Okay, guys, what else we got? Anything else, or are we going to head out of here?
Hey, listen, we can sit here and talk music all day. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, no, I can't stand here all day, but I'm glad you guys can. Cool. Robert likes old country.
Yep.
So, yeah, make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, as always. And again, everyone have a very great, wonderful Merry Christmas, because we won't be doing another live stream, I don't believe, between now and Christmas.
Well, if I come back next week or the week after to take this board apart.
Maybe, possibly. We'll see.
We might live stream that.
We might. We won't live stream it. We'll record it, but we won't live stream it.
But then again, too, if we're going to be crawling all over this thing, we might not want to do a live stream after that. Because guys, working on this thing is exhausting. It's physically exhausting.
But it's worth it.
It's worth it, but it's physically, like, when you got to do the unthinkable, when we have to grab this thing underneath it and pull it away from the wall.
Yeah, we've done it a bunch.
We've done it a bunch of times, but dude, it's exhausting.
Not a big deal.
It's exhausting.
All right, everybody. So again, everyone have a Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Stay tuned to the videos.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys in the next live stream.
Yeah, guys.
Bye,
Take care. It's good to see everybody again.